Wake up at 5 a.m., brush your teeth, eat a low nutrition breakfast, take the train and head to work for a couple of hours in your cubicle, take a small lunch break, continue staring at your computer, typing your ass off for a couple of hours, clock out and head home, eat fries and a burger while watching a sports game, lay on the couch watching the game, go to sleep, repeat. This is life for most people, sadly. This is all they got going in their lives. The highlight of their day is a sports event, but for the rest of the 16 hours, it's dreadful. They can't wait for the weekend, just like a kid can't wait for the weekend because there's no school. And isn't it crazy how we grow up as kids hating the weekdays because there's school, and we get all excited about the weekend because there's no school and we can hang out and we could do whatever we want. And then we grow up to become adults, and most people continue to live that lifestyle where they dread the weekdays and they're so excited for the weekend because there's no work. Most people seem to never escape this cycle, sadly. Most people continue to become what today is now known as modern day slaves. They are slaves to their jobs, they are slaves to society, they really have nothing going on in their life, and the only thing that they look forward to is a football game. They have no goals outside of their work. And people now are more depressed than ever before. We're living in a world now where most people don't even know what their goals and their purpose in life is. And so that means that they're striving for goals that society gave them. One thing that I've learned so far of being alive on this earth is that we are never not going somewhere. You know, even the person who is lost, he's going somewhere still. We are either headed towards the path that we chose, or we're headed towards the path that others chose for us. In his book, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill has a conversation with the devil, and the devil ends up telling him various type of ways that he gets in control of people's lives. And the devil ends up telling him that one of the major ways that he uses to get in control of people's lives is by getting them to drift. Now, if you guys don't know what drifting is when you basically go about life with no aim, with no goal. You don't even know what you're doing. You're basically lost, going in circles. You don't know what you're striving for. For instance, in the book, the devil says that he gets a person to drift in their work by just making sure that he gets them to just work for a living. So as long as the person is only working for a living, they remain a drifter and they're easier to control. And I know that I mentioned modern day slavery in the beginning, and it is very different compared to the slavery that we grew up learning about in school. This one is more about mental slavery. The person who works a 9 to 5 without any goals for himself is not a physical slave, but more so a mental slave. The person going to college with no personal goal is not a physical slave, but more so of a mental slave. This way, you are trapped mentally. The problem with not creating your own goals in life is that you end up working a job that distracts you enough to not create your own goals. Since you are now making a living, you end up complacent. You end up living a life similar to the one that I mentioned in the beginning. Making a living ends up becoming your only task in life, and this path ends up leading to an unfulfilling, dreadful life. And there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, by the way, even though there's an abundance of videos out there and so many people, you know, who are slamming others who work a regular job because they're trying to make a living, they're trying to support a family or something, or they're trying to support their own selves and they have to work a job because they have no other option. Nothing wrong with working a regular job, but there is a huge problem with working a job and then not having any goals for your own self outside of that job. I knew a girl who told me that she didn't know what she wanted to do in life, but she was going to end up going to college because she was going to follow what her parents were going to tell her to do, because her parents thought that going to college was the best option to take, as all parents think, especially if you're, you know, Hispanic and you're Latino and your parents are from a different country. They definitely think that college is the best thing to do. And so she said that she was going to follow the path that her parents told her to follow. The problem with this is that parents don't really know what's the best for you. I know, controversial take. The thing is that parents only want to give you the path that lead to the most safety. If you show two paths to a parent, path 1, risky but offers a huge reward, or path 2, safe but offers a low reward, they're most likely going to choose the second path because it is safe. Many parents tell their kids to go to college because they believe that is the safest and the securest path. But obviously, as you guys are aware of by now, especially if you're on the internet, that is not the case. And the second path is good for them because it keeps their child safe. And that is all a parent wants, but that is not good for you. Unfortunately, she is following the path of the NPC. Just like an NPC is programmed to act a certain way, she is being programmed to follow a certain path given to her. And this will only get ugly because she will soon realize that this is not the path that she truly wanted to take, that she truly wanted to live out in life. And I hope that she realizes this sooner rather than later. You have to ask yourself this question when you're going about life. Am I an NPC or am I a playable character? A playable character makes decisions and acts on their own. They decide what they're going to do. They decide that they're going to go and complete this mission. They decide that they're going to go and do this side quest or this side quest. An NPC does what they're told. They're programmed to act and to think a certain way. And an NPC in today's world is what a modern day slave is. And when you're living the NPC life trapped in modern day enslavement, it is easy to lack motivation. The reason why you're lacking motivation is because you lack clarity. Many people are working regular 9-to-5 jobs, which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're still finding themselves unmotivated because they don't know why they're working that job in the first place other than to make a living. Even if you have a job, you can still be motivated if you have a goal outside of that job, and you'll start to get even more motivation when you realize that that job plays a crucial role in you accomplishing the goals that you have for yourself. And a lack of motivation also comes from not working on your own goals that you created for yourself. When you escape the chains of modern day enslavement, you become more happy, more fulfilled, more in control, more motivated, and more purpose driven. And you will look forward to your days instead of looking forward to a particular part of your day like a soccer game. Working a job on its own is not what modern day slavery is about. Neither is going to college, by the way. Remember, it is all mental. Physical slavery was a thing in the past, but now what remains is mental slavery. And the way to escape modern day slavery is to start creating your own path, start forging the path that you want to take in life. It is only when you follow a path that you did not choose, that you did not forge for yourself, that you get chained to the modern day enslavement of today's world. And so here's how you can start to escape modern day slavery so that you can finally free yourself and think for yourself, and now finally start following the path that you want to follow in life so that you could be more happier, be more fulfilled, and be more in control of your life. Create a vision. A vision is what you want your future to look like, what you want to look like yourself, what lifestyle you see yourself living, what career you see yourself diving into, and what purpose you want to fulfill in life. To start forging a vision for yourself, create a vision board. I know a lot of people believe that the purpose of having a vision board is to start bringing those things that you have in your vision board to come into your life, what they call the law of attraction, but it's deeper than that. It's also about seeing the vision of your future. People put things like the car that they dream to drive, the body that they dream of having, the house that they want to live in, the life that they want to live on their vision board so that they can be reminded of the life that they want to live, or the life that they're working towards attaining in the future. The vision board basically reminds you where you are headed. And if you don't know where you're headed, then you're screwed. That only means that you're headed towards a path that others chose for you. Like I said in the beginning, you're never not going somewhere. You're either going towards the path that you chose for yourself, or you are in the path that others chose for you. So create a vision to start following the path that you want to follow in life and start living a life with purpose. Create a meaningful goal. You create a vision so that you can get like a mental presentation of what you want your future to look like. And then you create a goal in order to accomplish that vision. A vision gives your goals direction. That's why I put vision first instead of putting goals first, because you can have a goal, but if you don't know what your vision in life is, then your goal will have no direction. Meaning will vary from person to person. Like what I find meaningful in life may not be the same thing that you find meaningful in life, but the key here is to find out what it is that you find meaningful, what it is that you find value in, what it is that you value in life, and then create goals that have that meaning behind it. For instance, for me, getting rich for the sole purpose of just getting as many cars as I want, like buying 100 cars and having them in my garage and banging as many chicks as I want, to me, that is not as meaningful. I mean, it sounds cool, especially if you're young and you know, nowadays in social media, it sounds cool, it looks cool, but to me, that is a superficial meaning behind the goal of becoming rich or becoming financially successful. Whereas becoming financially successful for the sake of helping my family and retiring my parents, that to me is more meaningful. But that is just to me. For other people, that might not be as meaningful to them. The reason why I advise you to create goals that have meaning and purpose behind them is because the road is going to get difficult, and I can tell you that firsthand. And in these moments of difficulty, you're going to continue to keep on going, you're going to continue to persist if the goal is worth the pursuit. When the goal is that meaningful to you, you're going to continue to persist no matter what. Create a long-term goal and then cut it up in pieces, making smaller goals that you can accomplish in a year, and then cut that one up in pieces, making smaller goals that you can accomplish in 6 months and 3 months. This way, this will all help you in accomplishing that bigger goal that you have, that will help you as well accomplish that big vision that you have in mind. It's like eating a pancake. You never go to a diner and get served a pancake and then swallow it like in one bite. You cut it up in pieces and then eat it piece by piece. You don't achieve one big goal without cutting it up in pieces and achieving the smaller goals first. Create a schedule. Most people don't follow their own schedules. They follow schedules that others created for them. I remember when I got employed for the first time, my schedule, my daily schedule was not created by me. It was created by my employer. I remember I would go in at 1, and before 1 p.m. I would wake up, I would eat breakfast, and then I would kill time before 12 p.m. because that was the time that I would leave. I would leave at 12 p.m. in order to get there on time. And before that, I would do anything that would kill time. I would play Call of Duty, or I would scroll on my phone sitting down just waiting for the clock to hit 12 so that I can leave and get to work. My days started when I would clock in and it would end when I would clock out. And that is how most people live their lives. Their day starts and ends at their job. Once they go home, they have no plans but to kill time until it's time to go to sleep, and then repeat the same schedule again the next day. You need to create your own schedule. Even if you have a job, create a schedule outside of the times that you are an employee, before you go to work and after you come out of work. What will you do in these times that you're free? What meaningful activities will you pursue? If you don't schedule your days, you're going to be following a schedule that someone else created for you, which means that you're going to be following a path that someone else created for you, which means that you're going to be living a life lacking purpose. Time block your tasks. So now you have a vision, you have a goal, and you have a schedule to follow. Now it's time to take action by time blocking your day. Time blocking is similar to scheduling, but now you're going deeper, because when you schedule something in your day, you're basically like putting a to-do list, like 5 things that you're going to do tomorrow. You're going to do this, and this. But when you time block, you're getting deeper, because now you're putting those tasks at a certain time of your day. For instance, you schedule that tomorrow you will work on learning a skill like copywriting from 3 to 5 p.m. And in that time frame from 3 to 5 p.m, you're gonna do nothing else. You're not gonna, go on your phone. You're not gonna watch a little bit of TV. You're not gonna do nothing else but learn copywriting. And then you move on to the next task that you time blocked, and so on. This will help you to be as productive as you need to be, especially if you're someone who has a job and you are trying to create your own path, you're trying to follow and accomplish your own goals. You definitely need to be time blocking, because obviously you guys know when you have a job, you're following, you have to clock in at this hour, you have to clock out at that hour, and you know that you have to be at your job at that certain time. But outside those times, it is all up to you to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you do not time block, you're not going to follow your schedule, because there's going to be so many distractions that's going to get in the way, and it's just going to end up causing a chaotic day. But if you time block, you're going to block that time in your day to do a certain task, and nothing is going to get in the way because you already blocked that time for that specific task. Nowadays, controlling people is not about controlling them physically, it's about controlling them mentally. Just like the devil explains various ways that he gets to control people's lives in the book Outwitting the Devil that he had a conversation with Napoleon Hill. The various ways that he has of controlling people are more mental. Back in the day, slaves had no chance of escape. They were physically tied to slavery. Now, people have more freedom than ever, and people still lack meaning and purpose in their life, and they are mentally tied to slavery. And what I just explained in this whole entire video is how you escape modern day slavery, by creating your own goals, by thinking for yourself, and by following your own path. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm out.